there, Dr. Dennis, Bluegrass Ukulele. I hold in my lap a resonator uke. The resonator was developed by a couple of, well, actually three brothers from Eastern Europe, and the first part of their last name was Doe, and then they put the shortened version of brother, bro, on the back, and that's why this looks an awful lot like a dobro. It was before they had an electronic means of amplifying the sound of a musical instrument through speakers to get out to the audience. And so in the orchestra pit, you're really hard pressed to make a guitar compete with some of the other louder instruments. So they went after developing a dobro guitar that has little cones of resonator inside it. This beautiful little brass one made by the Kala company down here has little cones that capture the sound and push them out toward the audience. So this is a resonator uke, and it's like a second cousin to the whole idea of a steel guitar. A lot of times they'll play them in country western, and sometimes over in Hawaii they will play the steel guitar as well. I'd like to talk a little bit about a technique called Melodic Style. I may have mentioned that under another song, Flop-Eared Mule, but I want to play the simplest one I know. It's called Banjo in the Holler, composed by Doug Dillard. I'd like to introduce you to three two-note chords. Wow, they're real simple, and they can be played at many different locations up and down the neck. So one of them, in slack key tuning, is called the G7th. Look at that. Pretty simple. Once again, two notes, one chord. Sounds like this. The G7th is one of the three two-note partial chords that go into melodic style. Another would be normally a bar where you put your finger flat down here across the fret, but here I'm using two fingers, the middle and the ring, on the same fret to make a, here it is, partial bar. Listen up. All right? And then this is a little more complicated. If you take a look at your slack key tuning chart, if you have access to one, go look it up online. It's waiting for you. It'll be under 5-string banjo, and it will call it a, a full G chord, but in our ukulele world, it is a full G chord. Take a look at that and where my fingers are. They're a stair step, like this. Index, middle, and little, like that. Then I bring my ring finger over to the same fret where the little one is on the 4th string, and I have a full G. This one is a movable shape. It can move up and down the neck because it's covering all the notes at the same time. But now we're going to do something different because our little standard is two-note chord. I lift my middle finger and I move my little finger off, and I'm left only with my index pointing down on the 3rd string 2nd fret and my ring finger pressing down on the 4th string 4th fret. It's a partial G. That's a partial G. And a lot of students get confused. They'll say it's a partial G7th, and I've got to say, I don't know why they do this. They come up with it many times. I'm sorry, it's not a partial G7th. It's a partial G. One more time. G7, partial bar, and partial G. Banjo in the Hollow makes use of some of these. I'm up here. My middle finger is on the 2nd string, and it's the 10th fret. My index finger is on the 1st string, 9th fret. What shape's that? G7th. You got it. Do a forward, backward roll. It's forward. Then I move to the middle, and I'm fretting these two guys side by side. Oh, it's a partial. That's it. Backward roll. So the best way of thinking of this is forward, reverse roll, 3, 2, 1, 4, reverse roll, 1, 2, 3, 1. And I put down my little partial G7 for the first 4 notes. Then I release, don't pull my hand too far away, and do a backward roll, which positions me now to go over here to the 5th fret where I make a partial bar. And then I release. Boy, that's easy. And now I go to a partial G. Getting it on all of them, aren't I? And that is 3, 2, 4, 1. And then I do a pinch. And for part B, it's even easier than that. I'm going to do a partial bar in the middle on the 5th fret, forward and backwards when I release on the reverse roll, backward, forward, pinch, forward, backward, and then of course the partial G. All right, very good. So that's one of the simplest songs I know in melodic style that celebrates 3 2 notes that make up each of them respectively a chord. They can be played in many different locations, up and down the neck on many different kinds of strings. But it's a great, great sound, and we're indebted to Doug Dillard of the famous music group, mostly brothers, called the Dillards. See you next time.